multitasking, the act of doing several things simultaneously, has been a way of life. It is a popular way to execute their task quickly. Some watch dramas when they gulp a dinner, and some scroll through Instagram when they take a dump. Are you a good multitasker? Is there any relationship between the gender and the ability to multitask? Are there any benefits or risks? We asked some people, and here's what they think.
Do you think you are a good multitasker?
I don't think I'm a good multitasker.
Have my dinner while I playing computer games.
No.
Good at multitasking.
No, I'm not good at multitasking.
I can watching Facebook and listening music and then doing my homework.
Oh, yo.
Yes, in terms of doing homework and watching television at the same time.
Which gender do you think is better at multitasking?
I think boys.
It depends on the person itself.
I guess it's ladies.
Girls, because they like capable to shopping at the same time and doing other stuff like replying email.
I feel like that's a very hard question to answer because it really depends from person to person.
Boys maybe. I don't know.
Why?
I don't because I'm not a boy.
It depends on person but not their gender. Are there any benefits?
Multitasking can save your time because you can do two things at one time, so save time, right? It also really depends.
It depends on case. For example, I listening music when I'm working. It can help me to pay attention on.
If you can manage the multitasking well,
Because sometimes multitasking is needed.
What are the risks of multitasking?
Comes to some serious work, I think it may draw my attention and both work may not appear to perform very well.
Mistakes happen.
I'm doing my homework and then listening to music, and then my homework is kind of for example when I am typing the words and then I may type some lyrics on that. Yeah.
Okay.
So strange.
The interviewers were then asked to play a short computer game to test out their ability to multitask. The higher the score, the better they are at multitasking. Here's a demonstration of the game. The participant is required to balance a ball on a bin using the left and right arrows on the keyboard. After some time, the game increases its difficulty and introduces a second game where the participant is required to move a block up and down to avoid the incoming arrows. The third game comes in and requires the participant to move a box into a designated area on the screen using the W, A, S, and D keys. A final game is introduced if the participant survives long enough. He or she must use the spacebar to control the altitude of an arrow to avoid the obstacles. The game increases in difficulty as time goes on.
Why are you doing this to me lah, walao? 17 ah? Girl, I think I'm very bad at multitasking.
Now, it's the moment we've been waiting for. So which gender scored better in the game? The average score for males is 52 and the average score for females is 45. The majority of our participants thought that gender does not affect the ability to multitask.
Their perception of the ability to multitask versus their scores. Out of the 12 participants who thought they were good multitaskers, then 75% of them scored above average, while 87.5% out of 8 participants who thought they were bad at multitasking scored below average.
Only a small percentage of people had the wrong perception about the ability to multitask.
Unfortunately, multitasking is a myth. Now, you may say, what? But I do it all the time. Well, all the other participants in our experiments weren't exactly doing several things at the same time, but rather shifting their concentration from one thing to another very rapidly, making it seem like they are doing multiple tasks simultaneously, just like you. Countless sources, including MIT, Harvard, Stanford, and even NASA, discourages multitasking as it affects the quality of work negatively. Now, here's what they have to say.
Stanford News. Media multitaskers pay mental price. Stanford study shows. NASA. Multitasking is endemic in modern life and work. Michigan Institute of Technology. The distracted mind. Ancient brains in a high-tech world. Harvard Business Review. You can't multitask, so stop trying.
Therefore, it would be more accurate to rename our results as the ability to shift our concentration back and forth instead of the ability to multitask.
There are two sides to every coin. Multitasking may help us finish our task quickly, but if done irresponsibly, it may bring upon serious consequences. Familiar with the phrase, texting and driving, it is the act of using handheld devices while behind the wheel. It is viewed so seriously upon that it is illegal in Hong Kong and many other parts of the world. This is because no matter how quickly we think we can get back to our driving, we will inevitably sacrifice a few seconds. And that is all that it is needed for misfortune to happen on the road. This does not apply exclusively to texting and driving. Texting while walking or playing Pokemon Go are also potentially dangerous. All in all, follow Harvard's advice. You cannot multitask, so stop trying.
Familiar with the term texting and driving? It is... I forgot. It is... for blank.
All other participants... Well, all other participants in our experiment...
All the other.
What?
Multitasking in the act of doing several things. 什么笑啊？